Yeah. Yeah. Even better.
Did you want that one for the swearing in?
Yeah, why not?
Well, not soon.
If it's not gonna be a big deal, if it is, then don't worry about it. Hey,
Who are you?
did you? Your daughter out running?
My daughter?
Yeah,
Running?
yeah, like
physically?
jogging, yeah,
Not today.
okay. No, I thought I saw her coming
Once it
down,
gets warmer.
no, I thought I saw her coming down Tenerife and I'm like, geez, she looks familiar.
Nope, that's not her.
Okay, good. No, it's
My
kind of
daughter
cold
got
out, that's
her
why.
Wisdom teeth taken out today. So
Oh,
How's she doing?
she's doing good. Just, a little emotional.
So loopy.
More just emotional. It's not even, it's like really funny how, yeah, between all four of them, they're all different, but she was very emotional.
oh, this is, this is from last week.
No, that's for the one you wanted to have.
Oh, so, oh, yeah, that's gonna be after that. Okay, yeah, no worries. Sorry, I just want to make sure we're getting this all right.
See your email until earlier, but this is the budget that actually has the numbers in it as they were approved on the warrant.
Okay.
So
And is there a copy via email though?
I did.
Okay, perfect. My daughter would make it to Tenerife. They'll do the hair road all the way around.
Yeah.
It's like a little over 5 miles.
Yeah, I used to, I'm gonna start doing it again, but yeah, I'd go up Ford Farm, come down Silver.
Yeah.
And back down,
Yeah,
but I gotta
yeah.
get going here because it's not good.
Start off walking first. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, well,
Can't go
I mean,
running
I
right
work
off
hard
the
during
gate
the
anymore.
break.
That's when we were still bad.
Oh, work.
There were time clocks.
Yeah, yeah.
So your supervisor knew that. So if you were. Make it easy that way.
So I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay,
start this. You're not really starting the meeting yet. You're starting it for.
yeah, I'm just gonna open up the meeting, right?
Oh, yeah, you can, because
Yeah.
Claudine's sworn in already,
Oh, she is? Okay, good.
but it's not posted until 6:15, so that's why.
Oh, okay, all right, very good.
But I will run this for the swearing.
All right,
There we go.
My daughter has.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, so,
Yeah.
so we have Paul, we have Anthony, we have Laura. I don't know if James is coming in or not.
Is that what it is?
We have Bob Courier.
Oh my God, that's why.
We have Marion Crafton. We have Marion Crafton. We have Betsy Baker out back there. Hold on one second. Nancy Drew, no? John Cadwick. Larry Brown.
The property is between behind, all the properties that are along the road. Oh, it's up in the top here.
I'm smiling underneath this
Oh, yeah.
at you.
So am I. I'm like ready to pass out here.
All All right, so welcome, everybody, to the Town of Milton, to the Select Board meeting. Before we open up the meeting, I'm just gonna do a kind of like a little mass swear in here. Not swear at you, but swear you in. So if everybody, Marion, I got you here, and Paul, and Anthony, and Bob, and Laura, and Miss Baker. So all you guys are here. So you guys can just step up in front of me. And I want to thank everybody for running. And just standing. So what I'll do is I'll just state your name and then what committee you're running for, and then we'll just do a big swearing. Yeah, so raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all duties incumbent on me as according to the best of my abilities, agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and laws of the United States of New Hampshire.
And the laws of the United States of New Hampshire.
All right. Thank you so much. So Bob, here's yours. Laura. Just sign that up there. Sign your life right away.
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Baker. Anthony. Here. Okay. And Ms. Stratton. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, that's where I was supposed to sign. That's fine. No, that's fine. Yeah, just sign up there.
Oh, I messed up already.
I did too.
So I'll just put Anthony.
Okay, well, we put our name on that,
Yeah,
thing too?
yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it, right?
That's it.
Right
Thank
there,
you
right?
so much.
right there. I
Yeah,
put my
yeah,
name
sign
on?
your name there, sure.
Sign it or print?
Just you print it, whatever you like.
All right.
Paul here. Okay. And Laura.
You want the pen?
Yeah, that's you can have.
I used that stuff on my fingers.
Okay.
Just checking to make sure it's all set.
Okay, sweet. Thank you, Bobby.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll sign here. Oh, no worries.
No, it's a long time since I've signed it.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you back.
All right.
Okay.
Signed in the wrong spot. Got half my name down.
No worries. Sharing and crafting. Okay, all set. Thank you. All right. So we got 5 minutes. Because it's starting at 6:15, so. Yeah, Steven come in, so someone else will have to deal with it. No big deal.
There's some things you can sign.
Okay.
here. And get this off the state police.
Okay. That it?
Um,
What do I just hit, when he calls, I just hit the phone here? Just hit this.
Yeah. mhm. Yeah, you should put that- There we
Oh,
go.
there you go. Look at that.
There's his signature.
Hey, good evening, Matt.
How are you?
Good, you?
Hot.
Hot. Well, it's very cold here, so. Anyways,
It's 80 here today.
wow. All right, well, we're gonna start the meeting just in the two or 3 minutes because it's we're not gonna start till 6:15 tonight because we did a little swearing here. So just a couple of minutes, Matt.
Yep.
Oh, you can cut it up.
All right, good evening, folks, and welcome to the Select Board meeting, March 15th, 2021. If you'd like to stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there any public comments? I don't see any. Okay, so up first, under new business, and before we get to new business, I just want to congratulate everybody on the elections, for everybody who won what they were running for. And I also want to say thank you very much to everybody who unfortunately didn't win, but showed what they were, what post they were running for, and it just shows a lot about the people who didn't win, and they stood out there, and out in the, it was a nice day, but it got colder at the end of the day. But I just want to say thank you to each and every one of those folks that wants to show support for their community. It tells a lot about the person. So anyways, so Matt, you're there, right?
Yeah,
Matt?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. So up under new business is discussion possible actions. So we're gonna so the organization for the board of selectmen. So these are committee assignments that the board does after each election, and so we each so I'll start, I guess, with for the chair of the Board of Selectmen. Does anybody would anybody like to
Yeah, I'll nominate Claudine Burnham for chair.
that's fine. Is that
Oh, I accept. So-
okay? Perfect. And I will second that, Matt. So actually, I will just, do you want to just move right over
Move right over.
to
Like right now?
to the chair?
Is that
Sure.
how it works?
Yeah, I'm,
We need to vote?
yeah, okay, yeah, I apologize. Yeah, so I seconded the, I second that, Matt. All in favor?
All right,
Aye. All right, so we will just move right along.
Right. Thank you, Matt. That's a surprise. Okay, well, thank you. Do we vote on
So next, you take nomination for vice chair.
nomination for vice chair?
And I'll make a motion to just keep Matt right in vice.
Okay,
all right, I will accept.
I'll second.
Oh,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Okay. Moving on. All right, to the committee assignments. I don't know which committee we're going to start with.
You have, right now you are with the budget committee. Start with that.
So I'll make a motion just to leave Claudine in the budget.
Okay,
I will second that.
all in favor? Thank
Aye.
you. Aye.
I,
And is that the same with the chairman for the budget, or is it just for us,
No,
our
it's just for us.
organization? So it's just for us, okay? And any other committees of recreation? Are we doing that as well, or?
Yeah. You know, I sit on the recreation and I don't mind staying, so.
Okay, we'll make the motion that you stay on the recreation committee.
Okay, thank you. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
Trying to remember all these committees now.
And you got local government efficiency.
Oh, yes, the local efficiency task force. I'm fine with continuing that position.
I'll second
I'll
it.
make a motion to leave Claudine right there.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I,
That's on the heritage.
Oh,
and the
yes.
planning board presently.
Would you like to continue on the Heritage Board, Matt?
I absolutely would, yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to leave Matt on the heritage and the planet. Is he, you gonna stay on the planet, Matt?
Yeah, I'd like to, yeah. That's
Okay.
fine with me.
All right,
Alright.
so I'll make a motion for Matt to stay on the planning board and the heritage
okay, I'll
committee.
second that.
All in favor? Oh, you
All
said
in
that. I'm
favor?
sorry. I'm so
It's
used to
okay.
saying it.
That's, I know, that's
apologize.
fine. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Aye. And were there any other ones that we have?
I said, that selecting Brooklyn is zoning board of adjustment.
No.
That's all I had.
Okay. And we're all set on the committees then, assignments? Okay, so next, acceptance of New Hampshire Preservation Alliance in the amount of $3,263. This is Betsy Baker, Library Director.
I will make a motion to accept that.
Did you want to say something, Betsy? Betsy's at the podium. Would you like anything to share? Or?
What this grant is for a historic building assessment. And it is a one-to-one match. And with this assessment, we will have a scope of work rather than have the contractors try and figure out what would be the best way to produce something. And so we're hoping to have a full assessment done by the time sorry, lost my mind tonight. In order to get an LCHIP grant this year.
Okay,
And LCHIP has told us that we need this assessment before they will give us any more money.
So we
okay,
gotta match this?
Yes.
Okay.
okay. So motion to, are we accepting this grant money?
Oh,
Motion to,
definitely.
motion to accept the $3,263 from the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance for the library. No,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye.
I,
Okay, next, thank you, Betsy. Next, we have parade permits. Chief Kraus.
You guys get a copy of,
Yes.
so RSA 286 requires that we have a parade or event licensing, special license. Normally, what has happened before COVID, the small parades that occur are just in Milton Mills or the one every other year that happens here in downtown. They're usually so short that we just cover them with the PD, get it done real quickly, and we move forward. With the issues that we have been seeing with COVID and with the requirements that come down for events and gatherings and those types of things. And after speaking to the Attorney General's office last year, when someone wanted to have a parade last year, the question from the Attorney General's office was, well, you need to have them fill out a parade permit. So it's time that we start having a parade permit. There are portions of it in the guidelines that the board will need to make decisions on, whether or not you want to put a cost to it or not. If you look at RSA 286, there is max fees that you can put on there, or you can decide not to put any fees on there. Those are the board's decision. But there is something that we're going to have to do this with people going after businesses and going after communities because they had an event and then somebody gets COVID or gets sick. We need to now protect ourselves from it, unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I personally looked it over and I'm fine with it.
is there any additional costs that would require there be a fee?
Are there additional costs?
Yeah, to the
permit?
department,
Well, obviously, there would be some additional costs, as in overtime for traffic control is what we normally do for the parade, for the 4th of July.
Mhm.
I usually bring in the officers to cover that. Usually there's a police car and a fire truck in it, so I just bring in the officers on overtime to cover that parade. Same with the Memorial Day parade here, or is it Memorial or Veterans that swaps every year? Memorial Day parade, that swaps every year. Again, we usually have a police cruiser in it and a fire truck or ambulance in it. So I bring in officers on overtime and we just cover it. Like I said, the roads are usually shut down for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And we always reroute so that they have different routes that they can get around where the parade's going to be.
okay,
That's not the problem. The problem is just protecting the town at this point from somebody who decides that they want to hold the town liable for allowing an event to be held on their public ways or on their public property.
okay. Well, I don't really foresee having to have a fee. What do you think?
I mean, we really only have pretty much 2 parades anyways.
Well, but this also covers if anyone wanted to have like a block party. So if they wanted to have an event where they wanted to shut down a certain section of the public roads and have some type of block party event or something like that, or if someone was looking to have to call it another block party, but an extra large gathering in an area where they're going to shut down a public road, would meet that same type of standard.
Mhm.
So it's not, this isn't just for parade.
Right.
Okay.
No, I understand that.
So, I mean, I guess for me, I would suggest that the board reads the licensing and fees section of the RSA 286.3 and 286.4, as well as 286.4-A. I think those are sections that will help the board make a decision on what they would like to do, if they want to put fees in there or not put fees in there, as well as if they're going to put a penalty in there. The penalty, obviously, there are penalties built into the RSA already, but it should, in my opinion, show on here what penalties that they're going to put in there for not getting the permit if you decide to do that.
Okay,
So I
Do
think.
you have any recommendations?
I mean, my recommendation would be to go by what the RSA states. The RSA's maximum for fees is, I believe it's $300, the maximum per day for a fee. Sum of no more than $300 for each day a license shall perform or exhibit. But the fee shall not exceed for an open air or public procession shall not exceed $50. So again, I don't have a problem with the board setting it to meet the statutory requirements. Same with the penalties, if you just meet the statutory requirements, I don't have a problem with that either. But that's why I'm bringing it to the board as when this license permit comes in, this has to be reviewed by both the Board of Selectmen and the Chief of Police by statute. So we have to review it. There are other portions in here that would have to be reviewed by the fire chief and by code enforcement, or excuse me, the health officer, if the board so deems.
I mean, I'm fine with just leaving them at the statute requirements.
Which is the, what, $50? Is that the minimum?
$50 is for open air,
Open
and
air,
then the other types of
no more than
events
300
are $300
maximum.
maximum.
You have a question,
Yeah,
Betsy?
I did have a question regarding the public hearing. Would you have a public hearing for?
So you would not have to have a public hearing for all events.
Okay.
There would only need to be a public hearing if the Board of Selectmen and the Chief of Police decided that that was an event that should have a public hearing before it is allowed to be done on public property.
Okay. And then would the fees cover the public hearing notices?
So, yes, so if the board determines that someone has to have a public hearing for it to be able to have that event, then that person or group that is trying to have that event would have to pay for that public hearing. The town would not be liable for that.
As an example, would that include the events like at the town beach, like Winter Carnival, and anything that the rec department does?
No, because those are town-sponsored
Town
events.
sponsored. So as long as it's not town sponsored, which aren't the parades also town sponsored or not? They're just considered private?
Yeah.
Okay. So
No, a town-sponsored event would not need a special license permit. The only time a town-sponsored event would need a special license permit is if we're doing it on a state road, and then we would have to fill out the state's parade permit.
Thank you.
Okay.
So basically what I'd like the board to do is if the three of you could just review that RSA,
Mhm.
those three sections of the RSA. And then at the next meeting, if you can make a determination on what you would like in that provision, we can add that. We can have another conversation. If this forms are what you're happy with, we can accept these forms, and that would be the license permit that people would fill out to be able to
Okay,
No, it's fair
have
enough.
parades and events.
Thank you.
yeah, that gives us a chance to see what other towns do with that also, so that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, old business. You have town hall operations. Let's see if I can get down here. And I know we discussed a little bit earlier about that. How's that working out with the appointments?
Well, at this point, I still am not aware of any complaints that we've gotten in town hall about the way things are running. I know that there has been, questions that have come from a couple of people about when the town hall is going to open up again. And that was something that you had stated you were going to discuss at your regular meetings as time went on. So your first regular meeting of the year is here, and trying to discuss, I guess, what you think about that at this point. One thing I will tell you is that if you do decide to have town hall open up, I would at least, don't do it tomorrow, or give it at least a couple of weeks, because I know that there are already appointments scheduled out at least a week, if not a little bit further at this point. And what happened last time was it turned around so quickly. We ended up having conflicts with people coming in because the doors were open, the people that had scheduled appointments, and people just got inconvenienced and angry about that as well. So at least if you decide to do something, at least give it a couple of weeks of notice so we can stop making appointments and get the ones cleared through the system that we have.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, for me, the governor's relaxed, some of the orders. For me, the town hall needs to be opened up, period. So, I was gonna make a motion for fall this coming Monday, but Ernie states that we probably should give it 2 weeks. I think we should keep any of the mandates on the masks, of course, and keep everything that Ernie has put in place for the cautious, for the order that we had prior, and to just open the town hall. So that would be, so I guess, so 2 weeks, Ernie? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, at minimum, just so
Yep.
we don't run into that conflict that we had before.
Okay, I agree. I think we should open up.
Yeah.
So I don't know what date that is.
March 29th would be 2 Mondays from now.
So anything, Matt, on the opening up town hall?
No, I'm all for it.
And I think moving forward, I think we can figure out how many people we can sit inside here in the hallway with the chairs. I heard that the order is gonna be going to 3 feet, not 6 feet, but we'll just wait for that to come down from the government and from CDC, and just move forward with opening it up. So,
Okay. Great. I make a motion to open up to regular business hours as of March 29th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. And then we have the COVID-19 travel policy. Now, my understanding is that that's also been relaxed. Is there a specific time on that? There's a quarantine has been dropped, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the chief, if the chief wants Chief Kraus, or Ernie wants to talk about the travel policy. I know the state, we changed it a little bit for DOT, but if you guys wanna.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it. If there are any official changes, are you at this point?
So are you talking about the travel into New Hampshire? So people traveling into New Hampshire don't have to quarantine any longer.
Well, this is for employees too,
Yeah,
right?
This is our travel policy.
Yeah. well,
The employee travel
This is
policy.
Our travel policy, so this wouldn't have anything to do with.
Right, I thought you were talking about from the governor's office, because I haven't heard anything about that. No, so what, when this was put together initially, remember there was time that was available that was reimbursable that expired on December 31st. But after that, that was no longer available. And what the policy said that it was pretty unforgiving in any way, shape, or form. It said that if you didn't have that, or if it expired, then if you got exposed, or even if you were sent home from work at the direction of your department head or the town administrator, or the board of selectmen in accordance with this policy and the COVID-19 guidelines, that people would have to use their personal sick time. And taking a look at that, it just seemed as though there's absolutely no control that the employee had over that. If they were exposed by somebody, coming into work that had been exposed outside of work, and then they all had to quarantine due to that exposure, because of the town policy that was in place.
Yeah.
So what the proposal is to change that part of the policy that says pay status. Let's see, it would change to read it. EPSL is unavailable. That was the paid amount of time that was made available through the CARES Act and so forth. is unavailable, declined, or exhausted, and employees are directed by their department head to quarantine in accordance with this policy due to an at-work COVID-19 exposure. Those employees will be paid without use of their sick time until such time as they're cleared to return to work. This provision applies only to COVID-19 related illness or exposures. So it's strictly still COVID-19, and it is strictly limited to an at-work exposure, not something that somebody caught someplace else, but if somebody caught something someplace else and came into work with it and hit other people, and they had to go and use, until such time as they're through testing or whatever the case may be, then they would not have to use their sick time on that. So that's what the proposal is. Okay.
And there is no quarantine for those coming into New Hampshire? Yes, Chief?
So, right, so the governor just changed that if visitors coming into New Hampshire don't have to quarantine any longer. But in our travel policy, which that is still part of, the travel policy obviously encompasses a lot of things. But in the travel policy, it does still state if you still travel outside of New Hampshire to go on vacation or anything to that nature, you come back into New Hampshire, you still have to quarantine for those 7 days until you get your clearance on by going and getting clear from a doctor.
Yep. That's what the state changed.
So
it to.
is that what the travel restriction that you're talking about? in
Yeah, that's
ours?
what, that's.
So that's always said that in ours, that
Right.
if you decide to travel from New Hampshire on an airplane or on a bus or on a train, and you go outside of New England, then our travel policy requires that when you come back, you have to then either get a COVID negative test based off of what the federal guidelines are, or you have to quarantine for that 10-day period.
It's fine.
So, but what about, so that's on the travel policy, and I guess that's what's on here.
That whole policy is
Yeah.
part of the travel policy, but it
Yeah.
also encompasses at-work contacts. We used to have two policies, if you remember. We had the travel
Right.
policy and then we had the secondary. We put them both together because they were switching so many times and so often. We put them together to match what the state guidelines were going to be and the federal guidelines were going to be here at the state. So when we put them together, it's all encompassing in there, but it has the different blocks that separate when you travel for leisure. We still have the business travel outside of New England still hasn't been lifted. The board still hasn't lifted that. So there still is no business travel outside of the New England states.
Okay,
Perfect.
And the way it's listed in that policy, if you do travel for leisure on vacation outside of New England, then you have to use your own time. Obviously, one thing that the federal government and the state of New Hampshire has changed, if you've had both of your vaccine shots and you're past your 14 days when you do that travel, you're not required to quarantine at all when you do that travel or when you have contact with someone who is COVID positive, unless you get symptoms, then you would have to quarantine.
should that be something added to the policy then? Since I don't think we had any vaccines listed before.
That's up to the board. If the board wants the vaccination provision added to it, the board can definitely advise the town administrator to add that provision to it.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not, we're not making it a requirement, but if
It's
they
not a
choose to
requirement,
do that, then that gives them that opportunity to not be in quarantine when they return.
Right.
Correct.
Okay,
And certainly do that and bring it back to you next time.
okay, great.
But we'd still like a decision on the first part of this.
No, I'm fine with it.
Which is the travel or the actual time off?
The time off.
That's going to be on,
Sick time.
right, so that's sick, just want to clarify that that's sick time if they were to get COVID while they're working. Is that something that they're still getting paid for by the town, their time off, or is that within their own personal time?
That would be if they had an at-work exposure from somebody here at work And then at that point, the sick time, they would not use their personal sick time, the town would cover them.
Okay.
Until such time as they're cleared to come back to work.
Okay, that's fine then. So we'll just keep it at that and then we'll add that other piece next time.
Okay, well, you need to make a motion to do
Okay.
that. I did give you a proposed motion.
Yep. So I'm scrolling down. Ready to make a motion. Well, we're not really amending it, is it? We're just kind of keeping it as is, or we
No,
motion?
you're actually amending.
Okay, I make a motion to amend section 6B of the Town of Milton COVID-19 travel policy to read, if EPSL is unavailable, declined, or exhausted, and employees are directed by their department head to quarantine in accordance with this policy due to an at-work COVID-19 exposures, those employees will be paid without use of their sick time until such time as they are cleared to return to work. This provision applies only to COVID-19 related illness or exposures. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Matt, thank you. Sorry, I got a little confused there. All right. Okay, other business that may come before the board? No? Anything, Matt?
No, I'm good. I got nothing.
Okay, so next is approval of the minutes from January 21st. Everybody get to look at those? Okay, so motion to accept the January 21st public minutes. Should we just do all of them or
I normally do one
one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and public and non-public minutes for January 25th to 2021.
I'll accept them as written.
Accept as written. Motion, okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then for public and non-public minutes for March 1st, 2021, motion to accept as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And one more for public and non-public minutes for March 3rd, 2021. Motion to accept as written.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Moving on to public comments pertaining to topics discussed. I did want to make a comment. I wanted to thank everybody that supported the Milton Homeschool Group at the election bake sale. It was a huge success. We're getting new teenagers involved, which was very exciting for them. So everybody was very generous and gracious, and we're just very thankful for that. And I also wanted to take a moment to thank all those who supported me and voted for me. I am very appreciative and very humbled. Thank you so much. Next, anything else? Good. You have anything? Matt, do you have any public comments?
No, I'm all set.
I should- Okay, expenditure report.
I'm all set.
We're all set?
Yeah.
Okay. So motion to accept the expenditure report as is.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Matt?
Aye.
Okay. All right, and moving on to town administrator comments, correspondence, and other items.
Well, I'd just like to say that at the last department head meeting that we had, departments expressed a desire to be able to meet with the board, later on this month, or maybe the first week of April, to be able to talk with you about goals, objectives, and direction things are heading in. I know that So that will be available, I think, on the 22nd. You wanted to set up a workshop at that point. 29th, either one. I can just run it by the departments to see who's available for which night to, make sure we've got maximum participation and get back to you.
Sure.
Sure, that will work out. Want to make sure everybody's available. Is that good for you, Matt?
I missed the date. I'm sorry. I got
Um,
more than one thing going on here.
Sure,
Either the 22nd or the 29th.
the 22nd or the 29th to have a meeting to include the department heads.
Yeah.
The 29th is gonna be much better for me, because I don't know what time I land on the 22nd.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, we're flexible. So we're gonna talk to the department heads, or at least Ernie will, and we'll confirm that later this week.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Selectmen comments?
Um, I got a couple of things. Ernie, are we gonna put the 2020 town report online?
I believe it's there.
It's there?
Yes, I think you always put that up last week.
Okay, so the 2020, okay, so it is on, okay. Okay. No, and I just, again, want to congratulate Claudine and to her new post. And I wish her well. So that's
All right.
what I have for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so now I see that we're going to go to a non-public session. No, that was earlier. Did Matt have any comments?
Yeah.
Matt, did you have any comments under selectmen comments?
No, I just want to say congratulations to everybody that won. Obviously, I wasn't able to be there, but again, congratulations to everybody that won their elected positions.
Okay. We already did the non-public, right? Or is this,
Well,
What
so
is
we're gonna
this?
go back, we're gonna go into a non-public.
okay,
So,
going to go into a
yeah,
non-public?
and just state the RSA.
Okay. All right, so at this time, we're going to go to a non-public session, RSA 91A3 2A.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah,
Aye.
Need to do a roll call.
A roll call vote.
You state your name and vote.
Andy, I.
Claudine Burnham, aye.
See you, Humphrey.
Matt Morrell, aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
And yes, it is on the website. It's on the town meeting tab.
Okay.
I think that's, you want to grab this sign?
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere?
Well, it's just one signature, so the representative. right
Okay.
here. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Steve is still messing around with this thing.
It's still on.
No, he needed it, so. You want to go into the office? We can
Sure.
Matt gonna be able to go in there with us?
Oh, I don't know. Matt, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, okay, let me shut this down. then.